Speaker.
Brett Hudson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's an absolute pleasure to rise and speak in favour of this Electronic Interactions Reform Bill. As members have noted across the House, digital technology is so ubiquitous in our lives. Even if you don't touch it personally, it's in your home, so you're a consumer of it one way or another. We see simple things like smartphones. I've seen reports, Mr Speaker, that people look at their smartphones 2,000 or more times a day, which is phenomenal when you think about it. Yet more and more I find myself doing my own business and living my life through things on the phone that I think is actually possible. We wear technology. Some people like things like Google Glass, but most people might wear things like Fitbits, help to record what we're doing, how active we are, the status of our health, how we're improving, where perhaps we could seek some help. The reality is that digital technology is a part of our everyday lives. When that's the case, it's also a part of our everyday business or education. We all, or most, in some form or another, are using technology to do our work or to do our studies. So it's not at all surprising then, Mr Speaker, that people would have a natural expectation that they should be able to undertake their interactions with businesses, with government agencies through digital channels. So it's a delight, one, to see us undertaking measures through this bill to help facilitate that, but also the better public service target we have of 70% of transactions with government to be performed online by the end of 2017. And it's an interesting point that at this point we are already at about 52% or just over 52%. So we are well on the way to meeting that target. But as we go through this, and the provisions that the items that this bill will achieve are laudable in themselves, what's more important, I feel, Mr Speaker, is actually it's showing the willingness, or if this passes through Parliament, it's showing the willingness of our agencies and us as legislators to remove the barriers to greater adoption and use of digital technology in interactions with governments. So recently I attended a technology and government seminar here in Wellington and met with one of our agency CIOs, and he was telling me about what he's been doing in his business. Creates a little bit of what you might call a sandpit environment, where he's got specialists that just tear down their archaic or traditional business processes and work out how they could do things differently with technology. And once they work out how they can use technology to give better or more efficient or more effective outcomes, they set about dismantling that old process and putting something new in place, something new that will support the use of that technology. And that, in effect, Mr Speaker, is exactly what we're doing here. We acknowledge that our processes and rules are outdated for this age, and we are prepared to change them so that we can embrace more and more digital technologies so that our citizens can interact with us more through digital platforms. So, sir, at this stage, I'd just like to commend this bill to the House.
Speaker.
David Clendon.